Hi, in this video I will show you how to use SQL Server 2012 security features in order to create new user in the system and give permissions to that specific user to use the database. So let's first open SQL Server 2012 and see how you can use that. Simply, there's two types of security you can implement in SQL Server 2012. There is security based on the server level and the security based on the database level. So, on the server level security, open the security tab. In the login tab, create new login. You have two options, whether that login will be using Windows authentication or SQL Server authentication. Windows authentication is based on a domain users and SQL Server authentication is based on the SQL Server users. So I will use SQL Server user for this test user and the password will be same test. So I have created this test user with the password test. So for this user, I will enforce the user to use password policy to make a complex password, and I will say user must change the password at the next login. I will cancel that. I will make the password complex by myself. That's it. So this is the general page. Let's go to the server rule. This user have a public rule in the database. You can select another rule for the user. In the user mapping, I will say that user will be mapped to a specific table in the database. So I have the tables in my database. Let's take this SQL injection table. So user test will be mapped to the SQL injection table as a public user. You can select another rule for the user like DB owner or DB access admin or another thing you like. In the securables, I will click the search button. Go to all objects of this type and click OK. So at the server level, I have these objects: endpoints, logins, servers, server roles, available groups. So I will click servers and click OK. So this server has all of these features that can be used by the test username, like altering any availability groups, altering any connection, and so on. So for this user, I will click Connect SQL and give him the authentication. So the user test is granted to be connected to the SQL Server 2012. That's it. I will click OK and the user is there. So I have the test user. This is the security features you can use on the server level. Let's go to the database level. So let's take this one, SQL injection database, and from the security tab, I will say users. That's it. The user test is there. So right click and properties. Click on the general. I have the username test is there and the default schema is DBO. In the owned schemas, I will make him a guest or a security admin or another thing you like. Same thing for the membership. let's go to the most important part, the SQLables. In the SQLables, I will give permissions to the specific user test based on the database level. So I will click search all objects of this type and click OK. So I have all of these features, options that can be used by the test user, like database, storage procedure, stored procedures, tables, views, anything else. I will click tables. OK. So I have this table in my database, which is SQL injection database, that test user can do these features on it. So the features, the permissions is altering, controlling, deleting, inserting, selecting, or any other features that can be done. So I will say that test user can only select on this database, or he can insert or update. In the effective type, you can say on which table he can do that, and maybe a database have more than one table, so the user test on what table he can select. In my database there is only one table, so that's why it does not show the tables. In the extend properties, you can give additional properties to the specific users. So in this video, I showed you how to use the security features exist in SQL Server 2012 in order to create a new user and give permissions to that specific user.